Hi, everybody. This is Jeffrey. This is Red Color. And this is the reading for the full moon, May 23rd, which is on the Sagittarius Gemini axis. Forgot the word. As some of you know, I live in Mexico, and I'm really trying with the Spanish. I'll be in the middle of a sentence, and then I know I have the word, but then I forget it in English a bit. I don't know it in Spanish, or maybe subconsciously I know it in Spanish, and I can't even think of it in English. So there you go. They say if you lose your native language, that's actually good. I picked up the new one. All right. So the energy is trust. That's the energy. Trust yourself, trust your instinct, trust, everything's going to work out. That sometimes, you take as much action as you can, and then you have to let go. It's trust. And if it doesn't work out, it wasn't supposed to work out. Like that's the way it goes. We've had quite a bit of that lately. And so it goes. All right. Nancy and I are combining efforts, and we offer a tarot class at 6 weeks. It starts on the 23rd. It's still not too late to join. Please join us. It's 6 weeks. It's really fun. And everyone who's taken the class in the past, they've really got a lot out of it. We give you a lot of notes. It's very thorough. And the way to learn tarot is to practice tarot. We give you an opportunity to practice tarot. Okay, let's get started. So this is for everybody, but most especially, I don't even know the degree. I should look up the degree. I should have done it before the video, but Oh, nice. Nice. All right. I start with the three of cups, and then we move into the three of pentacles, and then we move into the world. And the world is the next card. I was actually going to do the world video today, which I might, because I'm doing Tarot Tuesdays. I call it Tarot Tuesdays, but I never tape on Tuesday. I'm going through the whole deck one by one. All right, this is the card of joy, artistic inspiration, right? Sense of community, celebrating with others. And then you have the three of pentacles, which is a really interesting card. Because it's in the dark, why are they in the dark? So I always feel like there's this element of subconscious. There's this element of it's almost like you have something in the back of your mind, something you want to form, something you want to help grow or build with others, or that would support the community on some level. And it could be 3 people, it could be 2 people, right? Or it could be, 100 people. So I have 2 threes, creativity. Then I have the world. The world is really interesting. The world, what I get from the world, and this is what I was going to say on Tarot Tuesdays. It's the last card in the deck, and it's the end of a cycle, the beginning of a new. It's as simple as that. So maybe there's something, maybe a creative project, or something you've been building or trying to build, and there's no more work to be done. That's part of it. There's no more work to be done. I had a client a couple of weeks ago, and their question was they've been working on something for a really long time, and they wanted to know if it was complete. And this was the first card that came up. It was like the whole reading in a way. Because sometimes we keep on going back and going back and going back. It's like, oh, I need to do more on it. I need to add more. I need to look at it from a different angle. Maybe there's a creative project or, something in the physical world that you've put a lot of effort toward, maybe with you and others. And it's like, okay, we've done everything we can do. We've done everything we can do. Because I'm just going to keep on beating a dead horse. I'm just going to keep on. Maybe it's time to move forward into something new, like it's done. And sometimes even though if things don't work out, say the way you were planned or the way you thought they were going to work out, you learned a lot along the way. So maybe that was the lesson. like the lesson was, okay, we got to a fork in the road, or we got to a dead end. And it's like, okay, well, now it's time to move in a different direction. Maybe it's time to utilize the experience and move into something new, which, and trust, and trust. Okay. Yeah. This is really about stability, being comfortable in one's home, being comfortable in one's body. It's, let's say your goal was to make a certain amount of money, and you didn't quite reach your goal. It's like, well, I have what I have. I'm comfortable in where I am. I'm stable and solid, right? Maybe it's not the grand expectation I had, but maybe it's enough. Maybe um, it maybe it takes you to a place of being on the inside. The minute I start a video, either someone's playing music or whatever, I can't even get into it. Maybe it's time to reformulate and restabilize and build something new. It's very odd reading. Okay. I don't think you could hear it with that. Self-care is the order of the day. Self-care is the order of the day. Self-care is the order of the day. And what I just got was maybe this whole thing with community, la la la, maybe, you've been putting out so much, and you got, it didn't meet your expectations, say, and instead of continuing, like start a new story, instead of continuing to like take care of everyone else, maybe it's time to take care of yourself, be quiet and at home, stabilize yourself, because for me, she's the queen of self-care. She really is. And the thing with her is she knows where to plant the seed. And sometimes we do something and it's like we kind of know on the way in, it's like, oh, I don't know this. And then we do it anyway and then expect it to grow. It's like, if you already got that, I don't know about this, wait. Yeah, maybe it's time to learn a new skill. Maybe it's time to learn a new skill that you enjoy. Something, where you pay attention to detail, where you're really learning something new, and the learning in and of itself is pleasurable and beneficial and abundant and gives you an awareness. Okay. Yeah, we'll definitely time to start something new. When I have the Fool and the World in the and it's the same reading, and we started with the World, and I'm getting that energy of like, there's something that you've put all the effort toward, and it's time to put to bed. Stabilize yourself, the Four. Take care of yourself through it. Learn a new skill and start a new story, which is the Fool. Toward abundance, toward establishing something that's going to last, toward like there's a certain fulfillment in that card. Like maybe building a new family. Look at that. So, I pray and meditate every day, and I have for like a really long time. And sometimes I just need to get quiet and ask. It's like, what's the direction? And you might have to do it a few times, and you call on your higher self, and you call on your spirit guides, and you call on your guardian angel or guardian angels. Say, I need a new direction. Can you help me and show me and inspire me so that I can bring something new in? Interesting. The way I started painting, I've been dyeing for a very long time with a Y. I've been dyeing fabric for a really long time and had a business with t-shirts and stuff I've spoken about before. And I went into a meditation and basically called in. I went into a higher space, right? I went into my soul star. I can help you with this kind of stuff too if you're interested. I can lead you through meditations. It's on my site. Um, and I let go of all these things that I thought I was, right? And it's like let go of like I'm a man, I'm American, I'm this age, all the stuff that tells us I can't do it or whatever it is. Just let go of everything, right? And see what comes up. And what happened was I saw myself painting on fabric. And that's when I morphed into painting on scarves, which I did for a couple of years. And I really enjoyed. And I might do it again. Um, and it was like, instead of poo-pooing it and saying, oh, I can't do that, it's not going to work, I dove right in and I was able to obtain scarves. And I had a chemical, I don't know, mix mash, whatever, mixture that I could use that I would make sort of a gel with, what do you call it, seaweed. And it became sort of a gel. I used to put it in the blender. And then I would add dye to it. I was able to paint with dye. And so I painted with dye. It was amazing. And instead of saying, oh, yeah, I got the message from my higher self, but, la, 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 I checked it out with everyone else and everyone else said it wouldn't work. Like, just do it. Right. I'm not saying if it says go to Antarctica, like, make your way down South America and see what happens. It doesn't, you know, but follow the directions in order to manifest. In order to manifest, because you have all the tools you need. Sometimes we don't think we have the tools we need. And sometimes we think, like, well, I'm good at this area and I'm good at that area, but that other area I can't really do. I'm unable or etc. And it's like, well, try it anyway in order to manifest what it is you desire. Yeah. And make a choice as to what your dream is, right? Make a choice as to what your dream is. And it might actually, this is interesting, it might have something to do with like the past, So when I think about when I was a child, a really small child, I was very happy on my own. I was very happy making things. I was very happy, combining things. I used to build like little zoos and little like almost architecture, and I would use what I had available. I remember I had all these little plastic animals, right? And then I had little people. So I would make this whole like world, right? And it would be on different levels and stuff. And I remember like I don't like strawberries are not my favorite fruit at all, right? They're okay, but they're not like wow. And so I would insist that my mother buy strawberries because they came in those containers that they had the holes in them. So it was a perfect cage. So I needed it for the cage. I figured somebody would eat the strawberries. So I'd insist. So I would have like, it was like an easy cage, instead of I had to configure everything. It's like, yeah, no, I got this plastic cage. There's one there, I can pile that, stack them. And because, I wanted the dangerous animals to be in a cage. Meanwhile, they're plastic. Now I hate the zoo. I find it really offends me. Like it really offends me. I find it, I it makes me, want to cry that keeping these animals in cages. Anyway, but it could be something like that, like something that, when you were a kid, you loved to sing, or when you were a kid, you loved to ride your bicycle. Now I really want to take, buy a bicycle or get a bicycle or go bicycling or whatever it is, So I have a friend who had like a little blackboard when he was a kid. He had a blackboard with a pointer and he would teach, and he loved to teach. So, you know what I mean? So it could be anything. Yeah. You're not going to find what you're looking for where you are. you have to look forward somewhere else, somewhere else. That's interesting. It's also the international card. And it, it doesn't mean like, oh, well, my dream is in Europe or something. I mean, it could, but it could also be like, I see something in a new place. So maybe, you're going to move away from a certain creative thing that you've done and go into like business or vice versa. Or, but that's what I'm getting from that word today. It's like, it's not where you are. The hope and the light is somewhere, feels like somewhere you haven't been. That's what it feels like. Somewhere you haven't been. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, definitely something new, something fertile, something alive, something to take hold of, kind of a gift. And when things didn't work out, I was thinking about it today. So, it's a big adjustment living here. It's a really big adjustment, the language, the culture, everything, the way they do business, the weather, the food, the people, etc. And even though when I lost everything in New York was really difficult, and in a certain way I was traumatized. I'm really glad that I ended up here. I really wanted to be here. I belong here. That I know. I don't know what I'm going to be doing for a living in a month or two from now. I really don't. And I'm open to a million possibilities. And I try this and I try that and I try this. And I've been hitting a lot of not yet or no. And it's like, okay, first we need to see what doesn't work to figure out what does work. It's almost like you have like a bunch of marbles, say, and you're looking for a blue one, and there you have like 600 one. There's only one blue. It's like if I have to go through one by one, then I have to go through one by one until I find that blue marble. Weird metaphor. That's the way it goes. Yeah, an opportunity to make money, an opportunity for health, an opportunity that comes to you. But I think it comes to you through the actions that you take, or being open and trusting. Like, and the other thing that it's a little mantra for me lately is anything can happen anywhere at any time. And, that could be a good thing. It doesn't necessarily mean a bad thing. All right. Yeah, your lesson has been learned and it's time to be reborn. Your lesson has been learned and it is time to be reborn. I hope this all going to fit toward healing, toward a new excitement, a new emotion, a new gift. And you have choices. You have lots of choices here. And the other, that's Uriel. Uriel is the angel of light. So I call on my light. This is a good little meditation to do, right? You sit, I might do it after they stop playing their violent movie. It's really what I want. I don't watch movies like that. So I'm very sensitive, actually. Very sensitive. I call on my light to guide me toward a new opportunity. And I am willing and able to follow the directions and will take the action. Please help me. Give me clarity. And when the gift is offered, I'm going to take it. I'm not going to be, oh, it's not perfect. Oh, it wasn't what I was expecting. Oh, like let's say, for instance, I applied, well, actually I did apply, be a tour guide. Right. But I haven't heard it. Okay. Oh, but that was what I wanted to do. Blah, 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 blah. Maybe this is just an example. the one who organizes the tour. Might not be the guide, but I'm the organizer. Maybe I'll be the one who makes the t-shirts for the tour. Maybe I'll be the one who sells the ice cream on the tour. Maybe I'll dress up as a character during the tour and come out and surprise everyone. So there's this place called Xochimilco, which is in the south, and it's the leftover of the lake. This whole city was a lake, okay? And they used to farm on the lake. They would have these, they had this unusual way. It was a very shallow lake. So they were able to like plant trees and build up soil and plant and eat, right? And there's like remnants of it left in the bottom, in the south of the city. And it's a really interesting place to go. You know, they do these little tour boats, you know, everybody drinks. But there's another tour that they do really late at night. It's like a ghosty tour, like through the canals, like swampy, you know. And, you know, you see ghosts and stuff. It's like, okay, great. So somebody was telling me about it last night. I was like, really? Okay. Like, you know, I want to see angels in spirit. I don't know if I want to see ghosts, but to each their own. So if an opportunity comes, don't be all, it's not what I wanted. You know, it's a little bit like that story of, you know, somebody like there was a like a shipwreck or something, and they're out on the sea, and they're like hanging onto a log or something. They're like, oh, I have faith that like, like, you know, I'll be saved. Okay. And then someone comes by with a rowboat, says, get on the boat. And they go, oh, no, 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 I'm going to be saved. And like the helicopter comes, they throw down the ladder. Oh, no, 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 I'm going to be saved. You know, it's like that. No, it has to be the way I want it to be. And I find that for myself, and I think for a lot of us, we limit ourselves as to what our higher selves, our spirit, our guides, where and when and how they want to take us. It's like, well, you know, I thought I would go to this and this place, first class on the airplane, and you know, instead I'm hitchhiking, but I'm getting there. As long as you're getting there, it's okay, right? All right, so that's my little take. So have trust and have faith. Check in with yourself. Invite in your higher self. Invite in your guardian angel, angels, folks, whatever, different for different people. And it's like, okay, where do you want me to go? What would you like me to do? Show me the opportunity and I will jump on it. I will focus on it. I will take the action toward, even if I don't think it'll work, even if I don't think it's, you know, glamorous or lucrative or easy, right? So that's the energy. You know, can we fit all these cards onto this? There's my microphone. Let us see. And do. And I offer private readings. I offer healings. Nancy and I are having the class. I have a really wonderful meditation course also available to purchase. It's all 7 chakras, 7 different meditations, and then 7 little art exercises as to how to work with the color and the energy. And that's available on a site called Thinkific. That link will be below. Let's see if this will work. Oh, it works. I don't know if you can see the top cards. Maybe you can. I always wanted to have like an angled thing, but then the card starts slipping. All right. The message is it's time to incorporate the lesson completely and then be reborn with a new vision and a new perspective. And the answer is in somewhere new. And the light and the hope is in a new place, because the old story is complete and a new one is beginning that is full of creativity and joy. If I stabilize myself creatively and I take care of myself and take action toward learning something new, then new things will appear that my intuition will lead me toward. I'm pulling on the angel of light to allow myself to break out of this prison I've been in, right? If things don't work out, they weren't supposed to work out. Toward a new inspiration that is full of abundance, and I'm going to be optimistic and hopeful with it. My eternal soul realizes that I have all the tools at my disposal in order to manifest my dreams. I have choices to utilize the past in a productive way. And I'll give you another example in a minute. That I don't really know what this new opportunity is, but when it comes, I will uncross my arms and receive. So there are all these videos now, it's really unfortunate. But I find that a lot of really everything, it's really about the negativity, right? So there are all these videos about Mexico City becoming gentrified, and they have all these I've been living here for so long, and now it's too expensive. Okay. And I get it, because it happens everywhere. I mean, the New York that I lived in and I grew up in is completely different New York than it is now. So, did I prefer when Times Square was really seedy and really interesting and New York was really cheap? Yes, I did. However, I lived in the middle of town, and it's okay, this is the obstacle. This is the challenge. And so what did I do? I started, making t-shirts that said New York City on them. And it was the most, I don't even know what the word is, common t-shirt I could make. It was my number one seller. I did all this spiritual, mystical stuff. Nobody was interested. Not that they weren't interested. I sold them. But the New York City one was the one that kept the lights on, right? And I started doing Airbnb in my apartment in New York, and I paid my bills for years and years and years and years. So it's okay, this is what's going on. How am I going to make this problem work for me? How am I going to make it work for me? How am I going to make this something beneficial, as opposed to things change, and right. Let's say you're in a place, let's say you have an ice cream store on the boardwalk. And then, you come to realize nobody is selling bathing suits, right? And my ice cream business is, it's well, I'm getting into the basic bathing suit business. It's a natural. It's a natural. A little bit like that. I know it's a little weird. Okay, so that's where I'm at, and that's where we're at. And trust that you're being led toward, what's best for your soul. And so ask, what's the best thing I can do to help me be comfortable, to help me learn lessons, to help me to grow, to help me to be more financially abundant, to help me to be more at ease with myself. What's the best thing I can do? And sometimes people tell you the answer, and it's well, I don't want to hear that. I want it to be the answer I want it to be. Well, that's nice, but we have to deal with reality as reality is. And don't be afraid to try and learn new things. So trust. half the time these readings are me too. But if I do it for somebody else, then it becomes clear. If I read for myself, it doesn't really keep on pulling cards until I get the sun. Last card. Yeah, I knew it. I knew the sun was going. Blessings.